Ever moved to a new neighborhood expecting to start afresh, only to realize that things are not what they seem? Imagine a quaint neighborhood where houses stand like silent sentinels, guarding secrets lost to time. Picture a group of new residents, eager to be part of the tight-knit community they've heard so much about. Now visualize the excitement as Halloween approaches, the neighborhood abuzz, the air filled with the scent of pumpkin spice and anticipation. These newcomers, keen to make friends, are delighted when their neighbors extend an invitation to a Halloween party at their grand old mansion. With smiles on their faces and costumes in hand, they arrive at the mansion on Halloween night, hearts light with anticipation. But as they cross the threshold into the dimly lit foyer, a chill runs down their spines. As they stepped into the mansion, a chill ran down their spines, an ominous sign of what was to come. Imagine attending a party, only to find that the hosts are not what they appeared to be. Yes, the mansion was filled with merriment and music, laughter echoing off the ancient walls like a sinister symphony. But there was something unsettling about the revelry. The faces of the neighbors, once familiar and friendly, seemed to twist into expressions of hunger and malice, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. As the night wore on and the festivities reached a fever pitch, the new residents noticed peculiarities about their hosts. Their neighbors never seemed to partake in the feast laid out before them. No morsel of food touched their lips. No sip of drink wetted their throats. Their pale skin remained untouched by the flickering candlelight, their laughter too hollow, their smiles too sharp, their movements too graceful to be entirely human. Then, there were the mirrors, tucked away in the mansion's dark corners, their surfaces obscured by thick curtains and heavy drapes. These were no ordinary mirrors. They held a chilling secret. Whenever the new residents ventured too close, they caught glimpses of something terrifying. The neighbors' reflections were monstrous, their friendly visages replaced by ghastly creatures with fangs bared and eyes ablaze with hunger. The realization was as chilling as the autumn wind howling outside the mansion. A shiver ran down their spines. Their hearts pounded in their chests. The friendly neighbors they thought they knew were not human at all. They were vampires, creatures of the night who had lured them into their web of deceit with promises of friendship and camaraderie. The faces in the mirror were not those of their friendly neighbors, but monstrous creatures with fangs bared and eyes ablaze. The new residents found themselves trapped in a nightmare, a horrifying reality that was far removed from the quaint, tree-lined streets they had come to call home. What would you do if you found yourself in a house full of vampires? Picture this: the new residents of the old neighborhood, their hearts pounding like war drums in their chests, their breaths ragged and uneven. The realization was like a cold, cruel wind, chilling them to their very bones. Their friendly neighbors, the hosts of their grand Halloween party, were not human. They were creatures of the night, vampires who had lured them into their mansion with the promise of friendship and camaraderie. The residents' fear was palpable, a tangible entity that hung heavy in the air. Their eyes darted around, catching glimpses of their once friendly neighbors in their true monstrous forms, their fangs bared, eyes ablaze with an insatiable hunger. Panic set in, a wild, desperate fear that clawed at their minds and urged them to run, and run they did. Through the mansion's labyrinthine corridors, their footsteps echoing in the eerie silence. Their hearts pounded in their ears, a deafening drumbeat that drowned out the sound of their own breaths. The shadows seemed to chase them, twisting and turning with a life of their own, a sinister ballet performed in the flickering candlelight. But even as they ran, they knew they were trapped in a nightmare that was only just beginning. With shadows pursuing them, they knew their true nightmare was only beginning. Have you ever been trapped in a nightmare with no sign of escape? This was the chilling reality for the new residents, stuck in the heart of this old neighborhood. The once inviting streets now echoed with the sinister laughter of their vampire neighbors. The realization of their horrifying predicament sunk in, their hearts pounded with fear. With every shadow, every flicker of candlelight, the terror of their situation deepened. In this old neighborhood, the new residents found themselves in a nightmare that was far from over.